Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat getting the fans fired up. From Bam to Boosh. Brian Boucher.
Florida, and will he be able to handle it? He has to trust that the referees have his back. The defense have to allow the goaltender to find the puck, deal with the traffic on his own, and not get frustrated by it. But one thing is for sure, Florida is certainly going to bring that net front presence here in Game 3.
The McDavid line against the Barkov unit to begin Game 3. Here's Evan Bouchard with a long shot. Corey Perry looking for the rebound, shoved out of the way by Aaron Ekblad. It's in lineup.
I tell you, too, as a forward, when you get have a good first shift, there's just something about it. You touch the puck, you make a play. I know it wasn't a high-danger play, but you touched the puck, you made something happen right off the bat, so it's a good start there for the Oilers.
McDavid enters the Panthers zone, finds Perry for a shot. Turned aside by Bobrovsky, and the puck over the glass, 35 seconds in. Each team with 4 first-period goals. 2-1 Panthers in Game 1. 3-2 Oilers over the first 20 minutes of Game 2. Here's Seth Jones for Florida. Close to Reinhart. Hit on goal. Skinner covers. Marchand look to get the stick in.
But the Panthers score 3 goals. You'll win it by a ball. Did them in local participating location. And you'll receive
the discipline of the Florida Panthers. Gretz talked about it. The boys talked about it the other night in Edmonton after the first period, during the first period intermission of Florida can't make the parade to the penalty box, and especially we talked about it in the first period of not playing 4-on-4 against the Oilers because they have the 2 stars up front where they really dominate. Penalty coming up here.
Here's Marchand with a shot. Score! He scored the last goal of Game 2 in double overtime. He opens the scoring 56 seconds into Game 3.
Oh, there was going to be a penalty call. Lostarina took a stick right in the face or an elbow by Draisaitl, and then Hungry on the puck. And Skinner slides over and just pulls himself right out of position. And Marchand, the patience he has with the puck to hold on to it. When you get in that situation, Bush is a offensive player, sometimes guys just want to get rid of it right away, but he had the internal clock. I'm going to hold on to it a second. Just hold on to it, and all of a sudden Skinner goes flying out of the net.
Well, Edzo, that has to speak to the confidence that Marchand's playing with right now, right? Because if you're fighting it, if you're not feeling it, I got to imagine the first thought would be just get rid of it as quickly as possible. But right there, the patience. Wow, Skinner had no idea where the puck was. To me, it looked like almost when there's a bit of a screen in front of him, he kind of lost sight of where it was, and the patience by Marchand to put it in, and the fast start for the Panthers.
Well, Kenny, on cue, you talked about the goals, fast and furious, and period 1 in the first 2 games of this series. This should be icing. A good job there by Puck Polzer to negate the icing.
But Kulikov pulls it up the boards. There's Sam Bennett, who leads the NHL with 13 postseason goals. Pass from Rodrigues was broken up.
Oh, Wallman, that was a big-time play there. If Bennett would have had a breakaway, that was an excellent stick there by Wallman.
Now Wallman had the puck stripped by Mikkola. He took a hit from Janmark. Nate Schmidt moves it up ice for the Panthers. Here's Mikkola. Florida leading 1-0. Brad Marchand has the last 3 Panthers goals. He scored in the second period in Game 2, then in double overtime. The winner.
That so-called third line for Florida has been just absolutely dynamite. Lundell, Lostarina, and Marchand.
Seth Jones moves the puck in deep. Gadjevich. This is A.J. Greer. His first appearance in the Cup final. Missed the first 2 games. Works it back out to Mikkola. This line has been outstanding for Florida during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Greer, Nosek, Gadjevich. Shot by Jones, missed the net. Gadjevich looked to get it out in front. Blocked off by Klingberg. Now the puck is cleared by Trent Frederick. 2.5 minutes in, first period. Brad Marchand with his 8th of the postseason during a delayed penalty call gives Florida the early lead. Now McDavid works his way into the Panthers zone. Nugent Hopkins has it taken away by Sam Reinhart. Now Barkov. Oilers keep the puck alive, and now the Panthers clear the zone. Carter Verhaeghe with Forsland and defenseman cutting to the net, and a save with the right pad by Skinner on the redirect by Forsland. Puck sent back into the Panthers zone. Bobrovsky moves it up the boards. Puck fired in behind the net. Out it comes to Bouchard at the right point. Here's Ekblad. Evan Bouchard. Gloved by Bobrovsky. Bouchard 15 shots more than any other player on either side over the first 2 games.
Early scramble was something that Skinner was overwhelmed by.
Here's Marchand, who opened the scoring with the man advantage. David Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Perry, and Bouchard.
Faceoff's going to be outside. That puck went off of Evan Bouchard. And the referee, Wes McCauley, helped the linesman out, and now they're having a huddle up here.
Wes McCauley, Francis Giroux, the referees. Trent Norris, Scott Cherry, the linesman.
And they're going to bring the faceoff back into the faceoff dot in the offensive zone for the Edmonton Oilers. So a break for them. Good job by the officiating crew to chat it up and correct the initial call.
Same officiating crew as game 1. Draisaitl wins the faceoff. Here's Bouchard. Getting it down low to McDavid. Tried to center, blocked off by Forsling. Back out it comes to Bouchard. Oilers on the power play with Lundell in the box. Draisaitl for Bouchard. Now McDavid. And the puck rolls down on the deflection into the Edmonton zone.
Barkov with a good defensive stick there.
35 seconds gone on the Lundell minor. 1-0 lead Florida. Here's McDavid. David puts on the brakes. Puck knocked away by Mikkola. Kept alive by Draisaitl. Back out it comes to Bouchard. Sidesteps Losterinen. Out for Draisaitl. Now McDavid towards the net. Stick save for Bobrovsky. Nugent Hopkins works it back out. Bouchard fires. Puck is loose and it's kept away from Draisaitl.
No stick for Nosek. He broke it on the shot block.
Here's Bouchard. Under a minute to go on the power play for the Oilers. Puck comes back out to McDavid. Stop. Rebound. Nugent Hopkins missed the net. McDavid over to play the puck. Cross ice Bouchard. Nosek still without a stick. Nugent Hopkins takes the return. Here is Bouchard. Bouchard moves in, shoots, and that deflects out of play.
David was sniffing. He was looking for the loose change, but Forsling was able to scoop it out of harm's way.
Oilers have 4 shots on the power play. Here's Klingberg, second unit out. Pass from Kane. Barkov got a stick on it. Walman works it in deep. Back out it comes for Klingberg, looking for the redirect from Henrique. Now Walman, Klingberg, down to 15 seconds on the penalty. John Klingberg with it. Here's Walman. And now a penalty for cross-checking, and this one will go against the Oilers.
And it's going to be Evander Kane. That's the penalty that was called in front of the net. What a play here by Klingberg, and what a stop by Bobrovsky as Henrique goes to the net and then back. Here's that chance again for Nugent Hopkins. There's some room up top, but he just misses to the short side. There was some room. Bobrovsky was down. You hear Hank talk about it a lot on Sergei Bobrovsky. He's moving side to side. He's down low, the crouch that he has. I mean, you got to think about over the shoulder, around the ear area, and Nugent Hopkins just wasn't able to make his shot.
Love the read on the Klingberg shot pass. That's when the goalie's dialed in. There was traffic in front. Bobrovsky knew that Henrique was coming to that back post. That is a real good save early on.
Evander Kane sent to the box for cross-checking. Lundell Back on the ice. Power play, Florida. Here comes Bennett. And that's blocked by Skinner. A look at the Geico players on the ice. Panthers on the power play in the series, 2 for 6. Florida with a 1-0 lead. Got Marchand from Lundell and Los Marines. 56 seconds in. 1 for 26 on the road. Puck cleared out by Janmark. Played by Verhaeghe. Fires it back down. Played offside.
Marchand was way offside.
So would you do it on purpose just so you can get the top unit out there? I mean, is that a tactic? Because it was so obvious.
Hey, if I got the first goal of the game in Game 3 to Stanley Cup final, hell no.
That's what I thought.
Puck sent back around for Ekblad. Barkov out to the point. Nobody covering. Ekblad was in deep. Fresh penalty killers on the ice for the Oilers. Just under a minute remaining on the Kane minor. Here's Matthew Tkachuk. Tkachuk sides off the stick of Reinhart Goal.
What a play by Tkachuk.
Got by Ekblad, block. Tkachuk keeps it alive for Barkov. Ekblad couldn't control. Tkachuk with it. Here's Reinhart. Back out for Jones. Seth Jones moves it up the boards for Ekblad. Down low, Jones. Half minute to go on the power play. Ekblad. Now Jones. Back out Reinhart. In front, Barkov, and Skinner covers.
Panthers got to go to school on that. I mean, recognizing that Stuart Skinner struggles on those plays. There's been some goals scored where you can get him to freeze and find those backdoor plays. Reinhart, the open net, is certainly a huge missed opportunity.
Bush, is that as simple as he's getting sold on the shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, in some cases you could be screened. I don't think he was screened on that one, but
Ekblad shoots. Bad save, Skinner. Oilers clear.
you have to recognize when there's a back post presence. You see it in your peripheral, and you must play it as such. But there's been times in this series where Stuart Skinner simply trusts his D wholeheartedly, and those backdoor plays are available if the Panthers make them.
Kulak gets it away. Here's Bennett. Penalty has expired. Oilers back to full strength.
McDavid and Draisaitl out together.
Here's McDavid. Cut off by Mikkola. Mikkola outlet pass up the boards. Too far for Bennett. It's a Florida icing.
You got something going there, because if you can make the play, and obviously the skill level of a guy like Matthew Tkachuk, he can make those type of plays. So we keep him honest by showing and selling the shot. And if he freezes and there's somebody going, you got a pretty good chance at a backdoor play.
Marchand back to retrieve the puck for the Panthers. Held up by Evander Kane. And a penalty.
Another high stick. That was Kane on Marchand.
And facing Leon on the other side, they said they do already, just 10 years later, make fun of some of their hair choices and outfits, guys.
Great stuff. Thanks, Jackie.
We saw the great Paul Coffey, too, in the background there when Connor was meeting those young fellas. So good luck to them, and amazing story.
We had a chance to say hello to James Higgins and Vic O'Brien. They visited our broadcast booth prior to the game. Here's Reinhart, works it back out to Ekblad, 2 of the prospects from 2014 that Jackie just mentioned. Here's Tkachuk behind the net. Vander Kane back in the box 41 seconds after he returned from serving his initial penalty. Reinhart kept the puck away from Kulak. Bent down low from Jones to Barkov. Darnell Nurse comes over. And now Janmark unable to clear. Nurse pokes it ahead for Janmark. Held it at the line by Jones. Now it's Ekblad. Ekblad in behind the net. Reinhart. Now Tkachuk. 45 seconds remaining on the penalty. Turned aside by Skinner. Ekblad with the puck once again.
Good keep in there by Reinhart.
Kicked it onto his stick. Reinhart without a point in this series. Kane got the stick up on Marchand. Their fathers were junior teammates with the Dartmouth Arrows back in 1981. The fathers of Evander Kane and Brad Marchand, who drew the penalty. Kane will return in 15 seconds. Panthers with a 1-0 lead. Marchand had it stripped. With the penalty winding down, here's McDavid, cuts to the middle, taken away by Smith. And now back the other way is Bennett. 3 Oilers get back. Penalty expires, and Marchand with the redirect of the Rodrigues attempt.
And it actually broke his stick. He got a piece of it off of the shot by Rodrigues.
That was labeled top corner, too. I don't even think he needed to touch it. I think Skinner was screened on the whole play, at least from my angle.
Too many men here. See if Florida makes any adjustment. They've been trying to go from the half wall on the blue line down. See if they try to go from the goal line out, try to make some plays, try to draw in the penalty clears for Edmonton. And again, it's all about the power play, to be able to take what is given and not be predictable, and see if those adjustments happen here for Florida.
The too many men just 15 seconds after the previous penalty had expired. Third straight power play for Florida. 0 for 2 with 4 shots. The Chuck battling for the puck. Ekholm clears the zone past Jones.
Excellent play there, knowing where the open ice was going to be, and Ekholm willed it out of the zone.
A look at the odds from DraftKings Sportsbook. Here's Seth Jones. Into the corner, Kachuk. Blocked off by Kulak. Nice play up the boards for Kapanen. And he moves the puck down ice.
Another penalty coming here. We'll have a power play here in 53 seconds.
Henrique and Arvidsson, the Edmonton forwards. Ekblad in the box for tripping. Here's Verhaeghe, bottled up by Klingberg. Just under a minute remaining on the Edmonton penalty. Team skating 4 aside. Here's Bennett. Now Kulikov, a defenseman leading the rush. Down low, Bennett and Klingberg. Bennett plays the puck. Bennett out in front. Stick couldn't handle it.
Oh, if that was on the tape, man would have had an unbelievable chance. What a shift there by Bennett, especially below the goal line. Gave a hit, found the puck, and unfortunately wasn't able to finish it with the pass to Smith.
There's Lundell. McDavid and Draisaitl have come out for Edmonton. Lundell, a couple of nice moves out to Forsling. And that shot blocked by Connor McDavid. Puck controlled by Mikkola in 10 seconds. Corey Perry serving the too many men. Ben Snyder will return. Another nice move by Lundell around Bouchard. Now Draisaitl.
Nice job by Draisaitl.
He is hauled down. Perry back on the ice. Power play for Edmonton for just under a minute. McDavid behind the back pass to Bouchard, and the save by Sergei Bobrovsky. Puck is cleared by the Panthers.
What a pass. What a beautiful pass there by McDavid. Looked like there were no options. And he finds Bouchard.
Down to 30 seconds on the power play. Here's McDavid across the line. Draisaitl. Now Perry. Back to McDavid. Seth Jones finds the puck, and he sends it to length of the ice. Penalty time winding down. Ekblad will return in 10 seconds with the Panthers leading 1-0. Draisaitl for McDavid. Puts on the brakes. Here's Klingberg. Had it stripped by Jones. Backhands out. And now Ekblad makes his return. One shot on the power play for the Oilers.
Good hit there by Ekblad on Perry.
Both teams at full strength. We have already had 5 power plays here in the first period. Mikkola around behind for Lundell. Lundell defended by Klingberg. Maintains control of the puck. Centering pass. And now the Oilers look to settle it down. Puck pulls in. Hit by Gadjevich. Forsling retrieves the puck for the Panthers. Now A.J. Greer. Greer shoots in.
Puck pulls him with a good hit on Greer.
Puck play by Bennett, looking for Gadjevich in front. And now the Oilers come out with it. 6 minutes to go in period 1. Stop behind the net by Bobrovsky. Now Smith to Kulikov. A collision in front of the Panthers bench, and Draisaitl was slow to get back up. Pass out in front. Rodrigues couldn't get it through.
Another nice pass there by Matthew Tkachuk.
Race for the puck, and now it is Kane. Moving it off Bobrovsky. And missed the net. Puck deflects out of play, 2. Third power play for the Oilers. There were 7 power plays combined in the first period in Game 2. 6 so far tonight. Oilers 0 for 2. Here comes McDavid. McDavid, next man to the puck. Works it back out. Draisaitl kicks it onto his stick. Draisaitl to the point. Bouchard. Edmonton trailing 1-0 with the extra attacker. Here's Nugent Hopkins for Bouchard. Now a save by Bobrovsky. Puck loose in front. Knocked out of trouble. Played by Draisaitl.
McDavid broke his stick on that shot. That's why there wasn't a lot of steam on it.
Draisaitl setting it back out for Bouchard. McDavid has a new stick. Leon Draisaitl. Left wing circle. Corey Perry, who tied Game 2 late, sending it to overtime. Here's Bouchard. Now McDavid. McDavid with some room. Watched by Barkov. Back out for Bouchard. Bouchard shot. That's blocked by Barkov. McDavid keeps it alive. Poked away by Barkov. And now McDavid. Beautiful feed down low. Carried back behind by Corey Perry. 40 seconds remaining on the power play.
Battle level there by McDavid to win that opportunity.
Here's McDavid off the skate. Perry looking for it. Barkov and McDavid keeps it alive. Out for Bouchard. Now Draisaitl. Bouchard tees one up, blocked by Reinhart. Puck comes to Draisaitl. Down to 15 seconds on the power play for Edmonton. Pass across, Forsling, great stick. And then kept in the zone by Bouchard. Here's McDavid, dropping it off out of the zone, and the penalty will expire.
All 9 skaters on the ice during that last power play for the Oilers. Everybody played a 2-minute shift plus.
It remains 1-0 Florida. Just over 3 minutes remaining in period 1. The Oilers have iced it.
Especially the length of the power play and penalty killing for both, but McDavid wanted that puck and he won both battles.
Tough angle shot to Chuck, knocked down by Skinner. Jones back to retrieve. Jones pressured by Kane. Now Henrique comes in to play the punt. Centering pass. Bobrovsky down on contact from Arvidsson, and another penalty upcoming, and then Bennett and Tkachuk both go after Victor Arvidsson. Kane steps in with Tkachuk. Both teams 0 for 3. Off the draw, shot by Schmidt, gets blocked. Bennett.
Second unit starting the power play for the Florida Panthers here.
Here's Rodrigues out for Schmidt, and now Verhaeghe. Rodrigues. Evan Rodrigues. Blocked off by Henrique. Puck comes to Bennett. Now Verhaeghe with a long shot. That gets blocked by Ekblad. Bennett. Back out for Schmidt. Into the slot. Rodrigues. Verhaeghe shoots. He scores!
The coach decides to play his second unit, which is probably a number 1 unit of most teams in the National Hockey League. They move this thing around, and Carter Verhaeghe goes posting in. Puck movement, different looks. And the power play and the decision by the coach to start the second unit. They're up 2-0.
Oh, how about Brad Marchand? After coming to the bench, telling the Oiler bench, the players to use your head. Bad penalty by Arvidsson. Panthers make him pay.
Power play goal, Carter Verhaeghe. His 7th of the postseason. The Panthers with a goal early in the period and a goal late. Lead the Oilers 2-0.
Big hit, Draisaitl on Reinhart. I mean, they made, I think, 4 passes perfectly. Offside here against the Oilers.
Skinner has to respect that. If he's too aggressive there where he'd get out, maybe that backdoor play's available, but Marchand's presence has to keep Skinner deep, and that's what opens up the top corner. Terrific shot by Verhaeghe.
Rodrigues and Schmidt with the assists. For Nate Schmidt, his 5th assist of the Stanley Cup final. Down to a minute 15 on the clock. After 12-10 Oilers. Panthers with a 2-goal advantage. Now Nurse over to play the puck. Von Colson comes in to keep it alive. Nurse steps up. Final minute of the period. Now A.J. Greer settles it down for Florida. Schmidt up the boards for Marchand. Offside. Brought back in by Kane.
Dangerous play there by Marchand, putting that puck through the middle of the ice. Passion. And you saw Draisaitl right there on Reinhart. Two of the most skilled players in the National Hockey League.
Broken stick on the shot. Ekblad. Deflected out by Reinhart. Here's Bouchard with 25 seconds. Now Connor Brown. Ekblad with a new stick. Puck sent back around by Mikkola. Seth Jones up the boards.
Good pinch in there by Ekblad.
And now Reinhart. Time winding down. 5 seconds remaining. Into the right of Skinner. And the first period comes to an end with one final save from Skinner.
Lundell just got a pop right into the mouth of Bouchard. And now Evander Kane's looking for Matthew Tkachuk.
Fourth power play for Edmonton. Panthers have had 4, scoring on 1. Draisaitl wins the face-off on the ice with McDavid.
Got Wallman out here.
Yeah, no Nugent Hopkins on this top unit.
Here's McDavid for Wallman. Oilers stay onside. Now Nosek over to play the puck for Florida. Can't clear. Wallman with it for the Oilers. Here's Bouchard. Now Wallman. Back over to Bouchard. Wallman straight away. Wallman watched by Nosek. Sets up Bouchard. Save Bobrovsky. Ekblad clears the puck down ice.
Got what you wanted, Bouch.
Yeah. I think they got to establish that. They got to respect it. And once that happens, maybe then everything else can start to open up.
And Wallman can really shoot it too from the back end. So you got 2 threats on the back end. Defense can shoot the puck on a power play.
Here's Bouchard, just over a minute remaining on the penalty. Wallman lost the handle, cleared once again by Ekblad. Skinner keeps it away from Marchand. Marchand pressure on Bouchard. Now Bouchard drops it back onto the stick of Nugent Hopkins. Here's Corey Perry. Puck deflects to the boards. Bouchard with 40 seconds remaining on the Edmonton power play. Draisaitl finds Ekblad. Now Nugent Hopkins with it. Mattias Ekblad. Ekblad down low Draisaitl. Here's Ekblad for Bouchard. Bouchard towards the net. Corey Perry scores! Perry cuts the floor to lead to 1.
We'll give credit to Chris Knobloch and his staff for making that adjustment of coming out and being a shooting power play right off the bat. And as you mentioned, Bouch, it opens up other plays. But the shot from the point and then the rebound and Corey Perry just opens up those hips. And he's able to find this puck and stop it and get it over and just elevate it past Bobrovsky.
Great hands there by Perry, and good awareness by Bouchard. Marchand went in front of the potential one-timer. Bouchard held up, did not shoot it into the shin pads, was patient, found the next play, and the Oilers got their first goal of the game.
That is a huge goal for the Oilers.
Corey Perry tied game 2 late. Sent it to overtime and now scores on the power play here in game 3. 2-1 lead for the Panthers. Sam Bennett. Got by Smith, misses the net. Just over 2 minutes gone. Second period. Smith with a drive with Kachuk. Making contact with Skinner.
Yeah, contact in front.
There's Nurse. Turned aside by Bobrovsky. Kulikov and Nurse. And now Frederick comes in. Sam Bennett over for Florida.
Edmonton bench with a lot to say to official Francis Charron about the contact made against Stuart Skinner.
Two oldest players in the series, Marchand and Perry. Marchand with 3 of the 6, Perry with 2. Verhaeghe the other. 2-1 Florida. Perry on the power play from Bouchard and Ekblad. Score! 3-1 Panthers, Reinhart. Leading Skinner. His first point of the series, and it's a huge goal for the Panthers. Just a minute 20 after the Perry goal.
Well, the quick hands from Sam Reinhart. Watch the backhand forehand. Throw your hands up top and bury this puck. What a shot. Short side again on Stuart Skinner. And then between the legs, got to make it really difficult, Bruce, for a goaltender. As Reinhart, I believe, goes 5-hole on Wallman and then elevates it up and over the stick side, the shoulder side of Skinner.
Yeah, unbelievable play to get it through Wallman. No chance for Skinner to see it. And you could see his reaction after. Frustrated that he did not find it. Big answer for the Panthers.
Reinhart's first goal in his last 6 games. Now Draisaitl back out. Cole missing the net. Lundell plays the puck. Marchand breaking. Skinner keeps it away from Marchand. Now Ekblad over for the Oilers. Around behind for Bouchard. Lundell in on the forecheck. 2 goals early in this middle period. Here's Draisaitl looking to break through. Puck comes out of the zone, sent back along by Kulak. Oilers clear the zone on the delayed offside. Puck flipped out by Seth Jones. Now Wallman. Rodrigues, top of the crease. Nugent Hopkins chasing down the puck. Nugent Hopkins slides it over to Perry. Puck cleared ahead by Ekblad and then settled down by Kachuk. Panthers led 2-0 after the first. It's now 3-1 Florida. Perry and Reinhart with goals early in the second period. Kulak up the boards and out. Moved back down by Forsling. And now on the stick of Wallman. We heard the Bobrovsky chants up in Edmonton. Now it's Skinner from the Panthers fans here in Sunrise, Florida. Connor Brown looks to put a move on Mikkola. Brown doubles it back out to the point.
Good effort there by Brown.
Shot was blocked by Gadjevich. Panthers clear the zone. Now Nurse back up the right side. And Mikkola will retrieve. He's hit by Adam Henrique. Nosek works it free. Now Mikkola reversing it back around for Schmidt. Schmidt up the boards and down. Here's Greer. Now Nurse for Edmonton. Stepped into by Greer. Gadjevich out in front. Backhand shot. Loose puck and it's sent out of the zone by Frederick.
That play happened. Unfortunately, referee Wes McCauley had nowhere to go. It looked like the puck was going to go behind the net. And it hit him, and then Florida's got a great chance right out in front of Stuart Skinner.
Now Barkov, defended by Janmark. In behind the net. Kulak couldn't play it. Reinhart does! Now it comes to Jones. Now Verhaeghe, who scored the second Florida goal. Puck loose in front.
The tie up to the stick there, Kapanen on Reinhart.
Here's Jones with it once again. Shoots, turned aside by the blocker of Skinner. Reinhart moves it in deep for Verhaeghe. Buddy, you talked about the strong second periods for Florida in this series. They allowed the early goal to Perry, but since then, all Panthers.
17 shots in game 1, period 2, and then 16 in period 2 of game 2.
Got by Marchand, was blocked by Klingberg. And now quickly up ice, it's Arvidsson for Podkolzin. Tried the return, blocked off by Ekblad. Ekblad moves the puck ahead, knocked to the ice. And now it's Reinhart for the red line, shoots in. Skinner settles it down behind the net for Klingberg. 7 minutes gone, second period. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Pass intended for Draisaitl. Reinhart got a stick on it. Now Marchand. Marchand, the oldest player in NHL history to score a goal in the first 3 games of a Stanley Cup Final. 35-year-old Frank Mahovlich held the record.
Bennett with a huge hit up on Podkolzin.
Podkolzin back on his skates. Marchand at 37. And now the Panthers with a 2-on-0. Moving in on Skinner. Score! Bennett! 4-1 Florida!
What a hit there by Sam Bennett. Not once, but twice. And then the puck is turned over, and Kenny, you made mention, this was a 2-on-0. Reinhart's got a chance to take it, but Sam Bennett's got energy. He goes forehand, backhand, shovel, right up top and buries it on Stuart Skinner on the stick side. 3 of the 4 goals have been on that area of the net on Stuart Skinner. What a shift push by Bennett there.
Unreal. Shift for he just 2 big hits, and then a breakaway, and the finish. Unbelievable.
His 4th goal of the series, 14th of the postseason.
Nobody with more.
McDavid hit by Ekblad. Verhaeghe with the puck. Bennett has 4 goals in the series. Marchand has 4 goals in the series. They have both scored in each of the first 3 games. Here's McDavid looking for Perry. Puck knocked out of the zone for Gadjevich. And to the right, it's Skinner. Walman back to pick it up.
Maurice told us this morning with the health of his 4th line now, he wanted to get him a couple of extra minutes in this game. 2 to 3 minutes. And he is, when there has been even strength, he's had the opportunity to play them.
Shot by Greer, speaking of the 4th line. He's out on the ice with Nosek and Gadjevich.
Obviously, when you have a 3-goal lead and it's halfway, and there's a lot of time, folks, left in this game. Because you know Edmonton, they got a power play, boom, and then all of a sudden it's a 2-goal game. But you can, he has the confidence to play that Nosek line and play 4 lines. Very.
A TV timeout to the right of me. The Oiler bench was silent. Almost a stunned look on everybody on that bench. But as we start after the TV timeout, McDavid, Draisaitl together, and let's see if they can provide a spark.
Lead for the Florida Panthers. Series tied 1 apiece. Bouchard moves the puck in deep. Ekblad lifts it out. Way offside. Bennett moves it back in. He was knocked to the ice by Corey Perry. Draisaitl gave Edmonton a 3-2 lead in the first period of game 2.
Ekblad with a hit on McDavid right at the blue line.
Out of save made by Skinner. Since that Draisaitl goal, the Panthers have outscored the Oilers 7-2. Here's Marchand, defended by Nugent-Hopkins. Perry over to play the puck. Nugent-Hopkins into the Florida zone. Fed along by Connor Brown, played by Nugent-Hopkins. Out for Klingberg, a shot was blocked.
Lundell with the broken stick.
Seth Jones battling in the corner. Here's Marchand. And then sent out of the zone by Lundell with the glove. He had no stick. Just past the midway point, second period. Evander Kane into the glove of Sergei Bobrovsky, and now players come together.
The middle of the ice as well, and that was 100% clean by Aaron Ekblad there.
Stopped by Nurse, blocked aside by Bobrovsky. Nurse moves it into the corner, bounces through the crease. And now Frederick.
Nice play by Henrique there.
Tapping with the intercept. And now it's Gadjevich, unable to clear, held in by Frederick. Henrique through the crease once again. Bobrovsky down, he makes the stop without his goal stick.
And Bobrovsky's stick got caught on that post, I believe on the net. And Bob's not afraid to do it. I mean, he will drop his stick if he's got to get across, recognizing he didn't. He couldn't pull it away. No stick, makes the save. Interchangeable. They can pop in and out. McDavid does not. He's got the old school blades like you wore, Ed. So I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying the old school.
I was old and slow. Yes, Booth. That is correct.
Verhaeghe for Reinhart. Leaned on by McDavid. Reinhart out in front with a stuff attempt, and Barkov with a shot, which did not get through. What was Bruce trying to say there then?
You know what he was trying to say, and I'm not going to argue with him.
There's McDavid, cuts to the inside. Horsley knocks it off his stick. Puck retrieved by Wallman. Wallman up the middle for Draisaitl. Blocked off by Lundell. They tried to get it through to Luostarinen. McDavid across for Leon Draisaitl. With the Oilers trailing 4-1. Here's Ekholm out at the right point. Lines and shoots. Glove. As Kane gets the stick up. Cross moved up to select you with that third overall pick. June 9th, 1984. Here's Janmark. Rodrigues over to play the puck. Held up by Podkolzin. Arvidsson with it for Edmonton. Knocked down by Jones. Ekholm for Edmonton. Puck back behind the net. Mikkola finds Tkachuk. Knocked down by Ekholm. Ekholm keeps the puck alive. Now Tkachuk turns it back around. Bouchard steps up. Beaten to it by Rodrigues. Gets it away to Podkolzin. Now Ekholm looking for Janmark. Janmark past Kane. Played by Bouchard. Now Evander Kane. Jones and Janmark. And Jones comes away with the puck. Jones moves it into the Edmonton zone. 10 days later, the other Chicago winter sports team had the third overall pick as well.
Okay, Ken. They're a big letdown now.
Fellow by the name of Michael Jordan, third overall. Shot by Nugent-Hopkins. Slipped aside by Bobrovsky. Luostarinen held in momentarily by Nurse. And now Marchand.
Good play, Nurse.
Nurse took it away. Marchand once again for Luostarinen. Into the right, it's Skinner with under 7 minutes on the clock here in the middle period. Panthers led 2-0 after one. Perry early in the second for the Oilers. And then Reinhart and Bennett. Well, the Panthers, Skinner hesitated, then came out to keep it away from Nosek. Bruce, what's the thought process there for a goaltender?
Well, you got to make a decision quick. He did not. He hesitated slightly, and fortunately for Skinner, he just got a piece of it.
Kulak able to hustle back, take the puck away from Greer. Kulak lifts it ahead, knocked down by the glove of Mikkola. Shot was blocked, played by Henrique. These teams met in the Stanley Cup final last June. Florida won the first three, Edmonton the next three. Panthers game 7 here. Now Jones, too far for Greer. Puck played by Kapanen and then back around for Wallman. They split the first two in Edmonton in this series. Both games went to overtime.
Horrible attitude. I think he's got bubonic plague.
I see what you're doing.
Denang fever. He's got a whole bunch of things. We're not sure he can be cured.
Play the game, Paul. Play the game. Thank you for this.
Okay.
Bill Zito, the general manager, will appreciate those quotes. Try to keep the cost down. Bennett, unrestricted free agent. Earning a little more cash with each and every shift during these playoffs.
Big hit. Ekblad on Perry right at the blue line.
Puck sent in by Verhaeghe. Ekholm back out it for the Oilers. Knocked down by Barkov. Now Verhaeghe with it. Met by McDavid. Draisaitl. Shouldered by Reinhart. Barkov back out. Forsling and now Verhaeghe. Watched by Connor McDavid. In behind the net with 5 minutes to go in the period. Now Perry looking to gain control of the puck. Kept in by Seth Jones. Now Lostarinen into the slot. And the Oilers carry out. It's Perry. Shots 21-18 Edmonton, but Florida has a 4-1 lead. Arvidsson cut off the pass. Lundell up the boards. There's Lostarinen for Tkachuk. In with a shot. Kicked out by Skinner. Puck loose. And it's Podkolzin over to knock it out of trouble. Podkolzin shoots in. Arvidsson off the stick of Bobrovsky. Held in by Nurse and then sent along by Evan Rodrigues.
Bobrovsky was really anticipating that play already from the corner with his stick. Looking for kind of a poke check and not allowing that puck to go cleanly into the slot area.
Now Rodrigues. Here comes Bennett. 4 goals in the series. Looking for number 5.
Fan that shot. He had the short side up high, but he didn't get all of it.
We heard from Paul Maurice with Jackie. 999 career coaching wins, including postseason. Only Scotty Bowman and Joel Quenneville ahead of 4 each. Quenneville, the new head coach of the Anaheim Ducks.
Also had a strong hand here in Florida before Paul Maurice took over a year later.
Certainly did. Quenneville led the Blackhawks to 3 Stanley Cups. The general manager was Scotty's son, Stan Bowman, who now is the GM in Edmonton.
Could have thrown it to you, Boosh.
Yeah, I was calling for it.
Oh, somebody's shooting water over into the bench. There will be some. There will be a fine handed out for that. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And they're still doing it. And it's Jake Wallman that's doing that.
Perry knocked off the puck by Schmidt. Is that wet, Boosh?
Almost. Need a windshield wiper down there.
Hand pass stops play.
There we go. Look at Bush. Look at him.
Excellent.
Hey, what are you doing?
Cut it out.
Yes, he did.
So, all good.
Yeah, water and electric outlets aren't really.
I don't want things to malfunction down here, you know?
You know, Bruce, you might want to do some research as far as who you get involved with. His great uncle was the Raging Bull, Jake LaMotta, the former champ.
Sometimes you got to learn the hard way. It's the best way to learn.
2.5 to go here in the second period. That's Jake Wallman's great uncle, not Bruce. In case you were wondering. A 4-1 lead for the Florida Panthers. Oilers ice the puck. McDavid, Draisaitl, and Kane. With 1.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Florida Panthers leading the Edmonton Oilers 4-1. Here's Forsling. Around for Ekblad. Ekblad moves the puck out of the zone. Into the right of Stuart Skinner. Marchand, Verhaeghe, Reinhart, and Bennett with the Florida goals tonight. 2 points apiece for Verhaeghe. And Lostarinen, who has the puck here. Looking for Lundell. He was held up by Wallman. Now Lostarinen and McDavid. Final minute of the period. Wallman comes in. Lundell as well. 3 Oilers, 2 Panthers.
Free opportunity there for Nurse with a couple of clock checks, and he's going to go. Oh, and then he gets a punch right in the face by Wallman. You could easily make this a 5-on-3 against the Edmonton Oilers here. Nurse got a couple of healthy shots right in the back, and then Wallman hit him with a left. You know what? If you give 10s to a couple of guys, I think there's a pretty good chance. And now we got Wallman and Mikkola having a conversation. No water this time from Wallman.
Thank goodness. It's nice and dry down here.
First penalty call of the second period. There were 8 minors assessed in the first.
I mean, we've seen some crazy things happen in this National Hockey League season, let alone in these playoffs. For Edmonton, you just need the next one. I mean, that should be the goal, obviously. Then you get it to 2. And then you sit there, okay, we're going to get a power play. We know we can score on the power play. And all of a sudden, 1-goal game. So look, there's plenty of hockey here. So I think they should worry about playing right now and not trying to get even or whatever you want to call it. So I think that needs to be the adjustment for the Edmonton Oilers, because you're still in this game. I mean, you got the greatest player in the world playing, and you got Draisaitl. You could argue where he is number-wise. So I think the adjustment for Edmonton is kill this penalty.
Florida Panthers with a 4-1 lead. And they begin the period on a power play. Darnell Nurse in the box for another minute 10. Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk, Brian Boucher, Jackie Redmond, Darren Pang. Game 3. Series tied 1 apiece. Florida led 2-0 after 1. Corey Perry scored for Edmonton on the power play early in the second. But then Reinhart and Bennett extended the Panthers' lead to 4-1. Florida, the defending Stanley Cup champs, their 3rd consecutive season in the Cup final. They won it on home ice here last year in Game 7 over these Oilers. Edmonton looking for their first championship since 1990.
Connor McDavid out here sniffing for an opportunity. Anytime his team gets the puck, you could just take off and put some pressure or create a chance. And Kapanen would have held on that puck a second longer, might be able to make a direct pass to McDavid.
Mikkola, now Marchand, off his stick, kept alive by Losterinen. Nurse getting set to return. Power play comes to an end, no shots for Florida. And now the Oilers back to full strength, trailing by 3, 18.5 remaining. As Mikkola fires the puck in. Here's Marchand. Puck comes out of the zone, and then off the skate of the referee, Wes McCauley.
Good start to the period for the Oilers. Pull that penalty and go. And an icing call here, it looks like.
Wallman should have got one because he popped him in the beak as well. But go back to Game 2. The early high stick from Evander Kane got them off their footing as well.
Thanks, Panger. 8 penalties called in the first period here tonight. Puck sticked aside by Bobrovsky. Now Arvidsson back out to the point for Klingberg. And now it's Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl without a shot over the first 2 periods. That is a -2. Puck taken away by Bennett. Here's Schmidt leading the rush with Tkachuk. Skinner kept it away from Tkachuk. Puck is out of play. Question Game 1, which led to the OTGWG, as Eddie would say. And now Skinner puts the puck over the glass. 6th power play for Florida. Panthers 1 for 5. Here's Bennett off the post. Sam Bennett already has a goal tonight, his league leading 14th of the playoffs. Here he comes again. Now Schmidt, long shot, gloved by Skinner.
Fortunately off the post and out for Skinner.
Schmidt with a shot. Another save by Skinner, a minute 32 remaining on the penalty being served by Evander Kane.
Launches a shot is en route. You can see Wallman right there.
Face-off win by Rodrigues. Here's Smith. Now Bennett across to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe back out to Nate Smith. Sam Bennett. Oh, the redirect by Verhaeghe. Blocked out a shot. Off the stick of Verhaeghe. Stopped by Skinner.
Ballman with a great shot block. Saved the goal.
Here's Smith once again. Shot by Rodrigues. Missed the net. Bennett with it for Florida. Off the mark on that attempt and the puck into the netting.
Look to get even. The physical part of it.
Panthers working down low to Marchand. Under a minute to go on the Edmonton penalty. Oh, what a pass! Ekblad the finish! Reinhart setting up Ekblad. Power play goal. 5-1 Panthers.
Well, the question was asked this morning to Paul Maurice about Sam Reinhart and the lack of looks that he's had on the power play so far in this series. And Paul Maurice joked around and said, well, maybe he's a decoy. Look at the attention that Reinhart is getting. And to recognize that with that pressure, the backside would be open. Terrific feed by Reinhart. An easy put away for Ekblad.
Here it is, Bush. You talk about the attention. Watch what happens. McDavid's there. Kulak goes out. And Ekblad finds his pocket, just absolutely lets a dart go, and Stuart Skinner's night is over. Beautifully designed. Timing was perfect. And a breakdown in coverage there for the Edmonton Oilers, where you're at two guys go to one. Somebody is open, and unfortunately for Skinner and the Oilers, it was Aaron Ekblad on the weak side.
Skinner replaced by Calvin Pickard, who has a 6-0 record during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Following the power play goal off the stick of Ekblad to make it 5-1 Panthers. There's Losterinen back into the Edmonton zone. First shot on Pickard, stick to side. Cleared up the boards by Kane. Racing back is Mikkola. Here's Connor Brown for Edmonton. Back out to the right side. Klingberg's shot gets blocked.
Losterinen with the shot block.
Walking away from Marchand by Goal. 4 minutes, third period, now 5-1 Florida. After the first two games, both went to overtime. Draisaitl dropping it back. Here's Kane, blocked off by Forsling. Puck kept in by Klingberg. Here's Connor Brown to the net. Oh, the save by Bobrovsky. Brown went to the backhand and was stopped. And now Forsling lost an edge, able to work the puck in deep.
Unfortunately for Brown, he wasn't able to elevate the puck on the backhand. It looked like Bobrovsky went for a poke check, or at least a sweep with the stick, and Brown avoided the stick, but just wasn't able to elevate it because he had a ton of room up top.
Janmark pulls the puck ahead. Pass was behind Arvidsson. Here's Schmidt. Back into the Edmonton zone.
Tell you what, you better have your head up there. Janmark just punched Greer right in the back of the head.
And now Kulikov going at it.
Missed opportunity there.
He's done it a couple. I mean, he's done it more than a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce, right?
Very active stick.
Yeah.
Even on plays around the net, he'll even swing it all the way out to the knob of his stick to intercept passes from behind the goal line. Very active with the goal stick, Bobrovsky is.
This is the 7th power play for Florida tonight. Panthers 2 for 6. Janmark in the box for roughing. Nurse back to play the puck. Now Kulak. Rodrigues. Now Bennett comes in. Verhaeghe. His pass picked off. Nugent Hopkins hesitated, and that leads to an Edmonton offside, and then Nurse and Marchand come together. A look at the odds at the top of your screen. But offensively, as you saw on the graphic, Schmidt has 5 assists in this series. He's the 6th defenseman in league history with at least 5 assists over the first 3 games of a Stanley Cup final. Paul Coffey on the Edmonton bench is one of the others. Pass intended for Ekblad, broken up. Power play continues for Florida. Jones picked out by Pickard on the redirect. Got by Barkov, looking for the stick of Tkachuk. 25 seconds remaining on the Janmark minor. The others on that list with Schmidt and Paul Coffey, Dennis Potvin, Pat Stapleton, Eddie Bush, and Harry Mummery back in 1918. I think Tiger had his poster on his wall as a youngster.
Good old Mummer.
Yeah. Speaking of, Schmidt with that last shot attempt. Mummery had 6 assists over the first 3 games of a Cup final. Puck cleared up the boards and down by Ekholm with 13 minutes remaining in regulation. And the Panthers on top 5-1. Here's Schmidt once again. Played for Paul Maurice in Winnipeg and now in Florida. First season with the Panthers. Well, Marchand, penalty has expired.
Nurse was coming across there and he was looking to get a piece of Marchand and he saw him at the last second.
They've scored at least 11 times during this postseason in 20 games. 6th team in NHL history.
Gretz's team probably had the other 5, right?
There's a good chance.
Oh, yeah. I know that 84-85 team certainly was one of them. Yeah, guaranteed.
You faced them on numerous occasions.
They might give up 6, but unfortunately, if they wanted to score 8, Bush, they'd be able to.
It's a goalie's dream to have a team score 5 or more, I can tell you that.
8 in there. A good play there by McDavid.
The power play for the Oilers. Here's Bouchard. With Edmonton trailing 5-1. Speaking of Marchand, became the first player in NHL history to score an overtime goal and then an opening minute goal in the following game in the Stanley Cup final. He's in the box here as the Oilers continue on the power play. Draisaitl on a give and go. Puck taken away by Mikkola. Now McDavid chasing it down. There's Bouchard.
Costa Arena taking a run at McDavid.
Bouchard for McDavid. McDavid slides it across. Out of block. Wallman, no check out in front of it. Cleared by Mikkola.
Bush, you were on the perfect angle there. Looked like Wallman made the right play, and it looked like Bobrovsky might have lost his net a little bit.
Absolutely, Edzo. That whole glove side was wide open. Nosek saved a goal. Wallman, when he pulled it back, Bobrovsky was stuck on that blocker side post.
Puck pinballs back towards Bobrovsky following the attempted clear by Barkov. Held in by Kulak. 35 seconds remaining on the power play for the Oilers. Klingberg. Nugent Hopkins moves it down low. Back out for Klingberg. Klingberg shot. Blocker save. Bobrovsky. Vander Kane hit by Ekblad. Puck off the back of the cage. Comes out in front. Klingberg with it. And he shot blocked by Forsling. And Forsling unable to get to it. Kept in by Kulak. Penalty time winding down. Now Forsling gets it out. Quick hit from Nugent Hopkins.
Well, after a tough game 1, Aaron Ekblad and Gustav Forsling in game 2 and game 3 have been what they've been pretty much when together. Just dynamite in these last 2 games.
Shot by Tkachuk, misses the net. Bennett over to play the puck for Florida. You're absolutely right, Eddie. They have been outstanding. Chance of we want the cup begin. It's only game 3.
Frederick taking a run at the end. Oh, yeah, now he just got a penalty. Frederick just cross-checked Bennett. Broke his stick, and now Bennett's going to get even. That was Greer and Nurse. You're just going to start seeing 10-minute misconducts getting handed out.
Gadjevich and Nurse to the left of your screen, throwing punches. Smith's helmet has come off. He's tackling with Connor Brown. Gadjevich still going at it with Nurse.
Nurse is holding tight. He's holding tight there.
There's Bennett and Frederick. Nurse and Gadjevich continue to go at it. Double rights from Gadjevich. Now Nurse with an uppercut.
You got Schmidt and Brown to the left.
Gadjevich is smiling during this fight.
And the officials are just going to let these guys tire themselves out regardless of the outcome. You got Corey Perry, everybody on that bench for the Oilers, and they separate on their own. Challenging for the officials, but I think they did one heck of a job there. Trent Frederick, Matthias Ekholm. There's the punch by Frederick. No penalty, not there. This is the penalty. He shatters his stick right in the ribs of Bennett, and now all heck breaks loose.
And watch Darnell Nurse come out of nowhere and hit Greer right there. And then everybody pretty much finds a partner.
Yeah, Ekholm didn't know what to do there because Greer grabbed him. And then Gadjevich and Nurse, they danced for at least 2+ minutes. I mean, there is still 9.5 minutes left to go in this game. That's a heck of a battle by those two guys, Gadjevich and Nurse. You keep doing that, we're going to make this, 6, 7, 8 to 1, whatever it is. They got the #1 power play unit out there for Florida.
They have already scored on the power play twice in tonight's game. Here's Seth Jones. Matthew Tkachuk. Now Sam Reinhart. A lot of empty space on both benches after the penalties that were assessed, and several players on both sides sent to their respective locker room. 9 minutes remaining. 5-1 Florida. There's Barkov, deflected by Reinhart. Puck comes out of the zone. And now Tkachuk will hit Barkov with the pass. Verhaeghe, Losterinen, Reinhart, 2 points apiece tonight. Marchand opened the scoring early, just 56 seconds in. Tkachuk deflects it back out. Across past Jones. One of the Edmonton players without a stick. Shot by Verhaeghe, stopped by Picker.
That was Bouchard. As Brown gave him his stick.
Here's Janmark coming in 1-on-3. Pass picked off by Marchand.
A good steal there. Podkolzin might have had a breakaway there. Marchand didn't have a stick down.
There's Marchand. Tries to put a move on Klingberg. Now Podkolzin with it. Corey Perry with the only Edmonton goal tonight. McDavid and Draisaitl have been kept off the score sheet.
Forsling and Wallman going at it.
Separated by one of the linesmen. That's Trent Moore.
Good.
Here's Verhaeghe back out for Marchand. Picked off by Kapanen. Penalty expires. Corey Perry makes his return. 7.5 to go in the third. Panthers with a 5-1 lead. After losing game 1 in Edmonton in overtime, winning game 2 in double overtime.
Number 14.
All Florida here tonight.
A good save there. Off of Perry. Off of Bobrovsky.
Bouchard with a shot blocked by the stick of Rodrigues.
As Bush said earlier, I am old. That's all that equals.
I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
So thank you.
Congrats, Enzo. Way to go, man. You're the best.
So the 12th person to appear on 1,000 English national NHL telecasts in the United States and Canada, thanks to Tony Miller, who runs the Unnecessary Sports Research site on social media and keeps track of those numbers.
Great teammates, and he makes it so fun and want to do it. Thank you, one and all.
Marchand hit to the boards by Kane, blocked aside by Bobrovsky. And now Verhaeghe controls the puck for Florida. Back around for Seth Jones. Verhaeghe moves the puck down.
Bouchard with a chop right on Verhaeghe. Don't think anybody. Oh yes, they did catch it, and I think a little bit earlier, just with penalties. I think that are very controllable. But as look at Brett said it after period 1 of game 2 back in Edmonton, and we touched on it a bit in that first period in game 2. If Edmonton's going to wear out a path to the penalty box, and they're going to try to play the way that the Florida Panthers can, you got to just play. Like, you pick your spots and what have you, but I think discipline. That would probably be the first thing, Kenny. Long-winded, I think discipline.
There's Reinhart, stopped by Pickard. Puck cleared out by the Oilers. I think what's troubling
There we go, behind the play again. Now you got Wallman. That's Kachuk, I believe.
Klingberg was holding him off, and then Wallman was going at him.
This way, and the same thing, it didn't happen for Florida back in period 1 of game 2, where the parade to the penalty box was there, and Edmonton was just toying with them.
It's a 5-on-3 for the Panthers for another minute. Here's Schmidt, now Jones. We hit 5 minutes remaining. Back out to Dave Schmidt. Part of Verhaeghe. Now Seth Jones once again. 2-man advantage for the Panthers, who lead 5-1. They work the puck around, and now a shot by Rodrigues blocked. Klingberg got in front of that attempt. Now Verhaeghe cross ice, broken up, and cleared by Matthias Janmark. 10 power plays for the Florida Panthers tonight.
Looks like Paul Maurice is protecting his top power play guys. A couple of the showers already.
He sends Nosek out onto the ice. Here's Jones with a shot, and that winds up in the netting.
Kulak, that cross check by Kapanen. I don't think you're going to see McDavid or Draisaitl on the ice the rest of the game. I mean, at least you shouldn't. A lot of it tonight. A lack of discipline without question.
Panthers, Eddie, have been on the power play for over 16 minutes. Nearly a full period of tonight's game. Here's Forsley. Now Mikula.
2 minutes for cross-checking and intended in misconduct.
2-man advantage continues. Rodrigues scores. Evan Rodrigues makes it 6-1 Florida. Their third power play goal.
Well, this game is over in a couple of different ways.
Number 42.
Mikula and Rodrigues having a conversation. He says, get to the middle of the ice, then pass it to me, and I'm going to go short side on Pickard. As Leon Draisaitl looks on.
Second of the postseason for Evan Rodrigues, who led the Panthers in last year's Stanley Cup final with 7 points. Florida now 3 for 10 on the power play, and they continue on the man advantage. 3.5 to go. Forsling shoots in. Puck cleared by Podkolzin. Saw Draisaitl on the Edmonton bench. He had a point in the last 8 games. McDavid in 7 straight. Both held off the score sheet tonight. As Kulak.
Oh, what a hit behind the play. Losterinen took a run at Kulak. Was looking to get even when you think about everything that's taken place. Really from the middle of the second period on. Draisaitl's out there, and McDavid.
Here comes Kulikov, goes in, backhand shot. And now Draisaitl with the puck. You surprised they're out there?
I am.
After 2.5 remaining. Draisaitl now, Bouchard with it.
And Draisaitl's
Ed's right in front of me. I thought Schmidt had a chance to line up Draisaitl if he really wanted to.
Right.
He let him off the hook. I mean, he really had a chance to clobber him and did not. You mentioned you run the risk when you have those guys out there.
well, especially when you see the guys. I mean, like, you know, Bennett was targeted. Kachuk was as well.
Talked about all the penalties and misconduct. 85 minutes in penalties for Edmonton. That's the most by one team in a Stanley Cup final game since 1986. Montreal and Calgary.
Without question, one of the leading candidates for the most valuable player of the Conn Smythe Trophy in these playoffs.
Dropped by Bouchard, turned aside by Bobrovsky. Conn Smythe won by Connor McDavid last year at a losing cause. As time winds down here in Sunrise, Florida. Game 4. Here on Thursday night. Florida Panthers are going to take a 2-1 lead after dropping the series opener.
Lundell was looking for Bouchard. Bouchard upended him, and then Lundell looked like he was wanting to take a piece of Bouchard. And 1 minute left to go in this Stanley Cup final, Game 3.
Down to 45 seconds. Fans on their feet here in Sunrise. 2-point nights for Verhaeghe, Losterinen, Reinhart, and Rodrigues. Panthers have now scored 9 of the last 11 goals in this series. Here's Mikkola, 15 seconds. A penalty-filled game. Panthers scored 3 of their 6 on the power play as Corey Perry is now going at it with Mikkola. As time winds down and Florida takes a 2-1 lead as the Rats hit the ice, a tradition here since
Nosek and Perry.
1996.
Mikkola didn't want to fight Perry, and Nosek says, you know what, I'm going to jump in there. And Corey Perry, the elder skatesman in this series, not afraid to get involved. And Mikkola starts fencing with Brown, and then Mikkola turns as Brown wants to have a conversation. And now Perry and Rodrigues being separated by the official.
Panthers win it 6-1. Coming up after the break, the NHL on TNT postgame show presented by Vanda Pharmaceuticals. For Eddie Olczyk, Brian Boucher, Jackie Redmond, and Darren Pang. I'm Kenny Albert. Liam and the gang coming up next.